This Fire HD tablet is the main control panel for my study, which also doubles as my studio where I make most of the videos for this channel. Earlier this year I redecorated my study, that's this room that I'm in right now, to make it more YouTube friendly. You can check out the video that I made about that if you're interested. I fitted several new gadgets in here to make my life a bit easier. Well, in order to control all of that, I wanted an always-on control panel in easy reach that would display a Home Assistant dashboard, giving me access to all of the controls and information that I need day to day. An old phone would have been a bit too small, and an iPad is generally on the expensive side of things. I found that the best value product for this task was the Amazon Fire HD 8. At full price, this 8-inch tablet is £99, but if you keep your eye on it in your watch list, then at certain times of the year, like Prime Day in the summer or Black Friday in November, it will drop in price massively. I ended up paying under £50 for this tablet, which is an absolute bargain. Because I wanted this tablet to sit nicely on my desk next to me, I also ordered a stand for it. I bought the Amazon Basics tablet stand, which is perfectly sized for the Fire HD 8. But then you have the issue of the power cable sticking out of the side. The USB-C port on the tablet is on the short edge on the right hand side when the tablet is properly oriented in landscape mode. The problem there is a normal USB-C cable sticks out quite a bit and doesn't look very good. It's also easy to damage the port if it gets knocked. I fixed this problem with a right-angled USB-C extension cable. It still sticks out a bit, but it's much more secure and less likely to get damaged. I'll put some links down in the description to these items in case you want to take a look. You might want to go a different way to meet your needs. Maybe you want it wall mounted, in which case there are loads of different options available, but dealing with that power cable will always be a problem. So the Fire HD runs Android, but it's a special form of Android that's been locked down and heavily customized by Amazon, which means that by default you don't have access to the Google Play Store, just Amazon's App Store, which is a little more sparsely populated. So what are your options for turning this little tablet into a Home Assistant control panel then? Well, it really depends on what you're after. Do you want this locked down so only Home Assistant can be used on the tablet and fiddling fingers can't start messing around with things that you don't want them to? Or do you not care about tablet security at all and Home Assistant is going to be just one of the many things you want to run on it? It depends on your appetite for messing around really. Probably the easiest option is to add a second user to the tablet as a supervised child's account. You can download the Home Assistant app from Amazon's App Store, give the child's account permission to open that, and then provided your main user account is PIN protected, then your Fire HD is pretty much locked down. But the big problem with that method is that the version of Home Assistant available in Amazon's App Store is way out of date. At the time of putting this video together, it is dated from 2024 and missing security patches and features, so I don't really recommend doing it that way. If you want the latest version of Home Assistant, then you can sideload the Google Play Store onto the tablet and install it that way. It works just fine, but you can't share that app with the kids profile if you want to run it in a locked down way, because the kids profile only supports Amazon App Store apps. And that is where an app called Fully Kiosk comes in. Now there are two main versions of Fully Kiosk. You have the browser version and you have the app version. The app version is a trial version which you can pay to fully unlock, and it's used to restrict your tablet to running just one app. That could be the Home Assistant app that you've downloaded from the Google Play Store. But the browser version, on the other hand, works by locking your tablet down to a single website. You can point it at your Home Assistant web interface and that is all it will run. And what's more is it's totally free unless you want the advanced features, which you might want if you want to properly lock the tablet down, and it's not that expensive for just a one-off cost. In this demo though, I'm going to show you the free option using the Fully Kiosk browser app. But before we start playing with the tablet, we're going to jump into Home Assistant and do a bit of prep work. Oh, and if you find this tutorial useful, then please remember to subscribe to the channel for free so as you get to see more of my videos. It's a really easy way to help me out and grow the channel at no cost to you. This is my actual Home Assistant installation and it's already set up and configured, but I'm going to show you what I did rather than guide you through how to do it. it. So if you make sure that you go down to your profile here, scroll down, enable advanced mode, because you're going to need that to be able to see all of the user accounts that you're about to create. Once you've enabled that, jump on down to settings here and go to people, and then if you look at the top under users, you'll see all of the user accounts that exist on Home Assistant. Now you'll want to go down to add user just here and create one, but if I cancel that, I'll show you, I've got this one here already called study, and it's got a password and it's active so the user can log in. But it's these two settings here that are the most important ones: local access only and administrator. Now if you're just using this in your own home, then the best thing to do is to turn on local access only. So if your tablet is connected to the same network or the same Wi-Fi network as your Home Assistant server is, or if it's on the same LAN, then basically tick this little box here so as this user account can never be used to log in from the internet. If you want to have this accessible over the internet, so your tablets are in another building, in another home or something, then you'll probably need to do this over the internet, so you might want that turned off. For me though, I only want it local access. The next thing is this administrator box here. Now I don't want a tablet sitting open all the time with administrator access to Home Assistant, so I turn this off so the account that's logged in can't do any serious damage. So create your username, give it a password, make sure you remember it, and then you want to save it. I'm going to click on cancel here because I'm just showing you what I've done. Now you want to create yourself a dashboard, so that's back in settings, and there's this section here called dashboards. Now you want to add a dashboard. I suggest you do a new dashboard from scratch, but this is totally up to you, and I'm going to call mine study. Well, actually I'm not going to call it study, but I've already got one. I'll show you that in a minute. But I don't want to tick admin only. This must be off because the user that you've created to access this is not an admin. But you create it, you give it a little icon, you want to show in the sidebar, but you don't want it to be an admin only one. Let me cancel that. So if we go down here, you'll see this one at the bottom, study. This is the one that I've created, and you can see it's show in sidebar, it's not admin. So I'm going to close that. Now all of these others here, apart from overview and energy, you can't actually configure those properly, but all of these other custom ones here, you'll see that the little admin only box is ticked. So if I go to that, I've ticked admin only. So that means that these ones here won't be seen by the study user account when they log in. All they'll see is overview, energy and study. And you can see here is my study dashboard on the left hand side. So what you want to do is add a few controls and things to it, a few cards that you think look pretty. Don't spend too much effort right now because you won't really know how this is going to look on the tablet until you open it up on the tablet. So just put a few basic things on there to start with, just to get yourself going, and then you can come back and edit it afterwards. What I will say though is you should make sure you've got nice large finger friendly controls. There's nothing worse than trying to tap little tiny buttons. I mean, these ones here for the blind are quite fiddly as it is, but they're default Home Assistant ones. At least you can just tap the main blind button to open or close it. So the general rule is nice big finger friendly buttons and nice large easy to read sensor cards as well. Once Home Assistant is configured, it's time to install Fully Kiosk on the Fire tablet. Now, it is available from the Google Play Store, so you can sideload the Play Store and then install Fully Kiosk that way. But for some reason, the version available there isn't properly compatible with Amazon's Fire OS. So the easiest way to install it is to download it directly from the Fully Kiosk website. So I'm starting with a fully factory reset Fire HD8 tablet. And the very first thing we need to do is download the Fully Kiosk software. So to do that, we're going to open the Silk web browser and we're going to go to www.fully kiosk.com and navigate there, and you should end up on this website. These cookie warning things have ruined the internet, but I'll allow everything this time. And we're going to go to Get Apps at the top, and if we scroll down a little bit, you can see there's 3 versions to download here, but we're going to get Fully Kiosk browser, and we're going to tap on this Get APK file link just here. I tap on that, there we go. Okay, now once that's loaded, you've got a few options here, but we're going to get the latest version of the fully Kiosk browser APK, which is 1.58.3 at the time of recording this video. So if I tap on that, it'll ask me if I want to download it, and then I want to open it. And you're going to get this warning here saying you're not allowed to install unknown apps, so you have to go to Settings, and you see allow from this source. So this allows you to install apps that you've downloaded using your browser. So if I tap that there and I go back, now it says, do you want to install it? So I go install, and then you just wait a couple of minutes for it to finish installing. I say minutes, that clearly took about 3 seconds. So let's open it up. So this is what it looks like when it first runs. So I'm just going to agree to the message there. And what we want to do is change this start URL. Now I'm going to use the internal IP address for Home Assistant on my network. You need to make sure you know what yours is, because mine probably won't work for you. 192.168.1.12, and then I put a colon 8123, and that is the URL that I access Home Assistant on my network. Now I want it to run in full screen mode, so that's good. The default there is fine, and I don't want to show the action bar or the address bar, so all those settings are perfectly great. So let's go start using fully, and it should ask me, there we go, ask me to log in to Home Assistant. Now I'm going to log in with my special account specifically for my study, and I'm going to put my password in right now. Hope that works. There we go. So by default, I've been dropped into my main dashboard. So you can see now why I suggest you don't use your main overview dashboard and you create separate dashboards for Home Assistant, because otherwise you can't really lock down this default dashboard. Anyone with a user account can actually see it. In this case, it doesn't really matter because it's only me using it, but you might want to restrict, say, guests to only be able to use one particular dashboard. So this here is the dashboard that I want to display, and you can see it's there and it all works. Everything is there as I want, but we need to kind of lock this down a bit. So if I go to study, that's my user account in the bottom left hand corner, I'm going to make a few changes in here. Here we go. Change the order and hide items from the sidebar. So if I edit that, you can see I can't remove overview, but I have removed all of the others already for this user account. Let's cancel that and scroll down a bit more. Now this one here, I want to select the default dashboard to be study and always hide the sidebar like that. And that, I think, should be good enough for the settings. So I go back up to there, go to study, and there we have it. We have a nice full screen web browser based Home Assistant dashboard specifically for my study. And this, I think this is pretty good. This is exactly what I'm after. Now we want to check a few settings for fully Kiosk itself. So if I swipe in from the right, the left or the right, yep, that side, that's the left, then you'll see you get this nice little menu here, and you can go to settings, and there's lots of stuff you can explore, but we're going to take a look at device management. And honestly, the default settings here are perfect for me already. Keep the screen on so it won't turn off. You might want to set the brightness to maximum. You can of course just adjust it here if you want to, but I like it on maximum. And if you keep scrolling down, you'll notice some of these items here have got plus next to them, like this screen off timer and set volume levels. They've got plus next to them. That's because those are premium features and you have to pay for that option. So I'll show you that in a little bit. But for now, all we need to look at are the free options. And for free, you can launch on boot if you want to. I don't use that. I found that might be a bad idea because if something goes wrong with this app, then if you reboot the tablet, it all starts back up again. So your only option is to factory reset the tablet to stop this fully Kiosk from running. But for me, all those default options are absolutely perfect. So let's go back. Oh, it wants some extra settings, so you can allow it to modify system settings. Sometimes it pops up with a message like this and it will want extra Android permissions, so let's give it those permissions and go back. So you can see on my dashboard here I have got a few little tabs at the top. There is my energy dashboard. This is purely just to show you how responsive it is, because you can see that the animation on this card is pretty smooth. It's not struggling at all. And I've got my extra light controls there, so I can control my LED light panels here. You can see my front one isn't on, because if I turn that on, then the turn that on, no. There we go. Turn that on, you can see it sort of distorts the screen. It's too much of a reflection on it. So let's turn that off and hopefully you can now see the screen again. Yep, that all looks good. That's all configured, and for what I need it's perfect, but what if you wanted to fully secure the tablet and stop people quitting the app? Well, you can lock it down so as you have to enter a PIN if you want to exit or configure the app, but that requires the Plus upgrade. So when you're in Fully Kiosk, if you swipe in again from the left, you can see this Get a Plus license section. So I'm going to tap on that and it'll load this page here to tell you how much it costs. So you can see here that the price in the UK at the moment is what, £8.20? I think it's €7.90 if you're in the EU. That's not really a bad price, because that is just a one-off charge and it is a transferable license. You can move it to another device. But the best thing is you don't actually have to pay for it to try out these features. If I now go back and to settings, I'm going to scroll down here to the kiosk mode, and you can see kiosk mode is a plus setting. But if I enable that now, the default pin is 1234. So I'm going to go back now and it should prompt me to restart. Yeah, okay, I've got to give it some permissions. Where are the permissions? There we go. Fully kiosk browser not allowed. We're going to enable that and go back. And what's the other one? Usage access. So we tap on Fully Kiosk browser and enable that and go back and back again. Do we want to switch kiosk mode on? We have to wait for the countdown to finish. We say yes, and it should restart. Will it restart on its own? No, I have to load it again. And now you can see we've got these watermarks top and bottom, but that's the only real problem with not paying for it. You can use this sort of test mode to check out that it works for you and does everything that you need it to do. And then once you're happy with it, you can buy a license if you want to. But as I said, the previous set of features, the ones that haven't got plus next to them, are all free. But if you want to use these plus features and kiosk mode, you can't change the PIN number. It's set to 1234 regardless of what you do. Once you pay, you can change it from 1234. I've typed in the PIN, but you can see here it tells you what the PIN is in the trial mode anyway. So you go OK. Now I can get to the settings and I could change whatever I wanted. But what if I wanted to try and quit? Let me see if I can quit. No, it won't let me quit because it's locked into kiosk mode. But I should be able to go back to it. There you go. So it won't let you get out of kiosk mode, which is quite a good feature if you want to lock down the tablet so as nobody else can use it. But let me go back to the settings. I want to show you something. Whoa, where's it gone? Here we go. It's being blocked. Let's go back to the settings and have a look in there. If we go back down to the kiosk mode settings, you'll see an option in here for disabling the power button. I suggest you don't do that. The problem is if you disable the power button, then yes, somebody can turn off the tablet and it won't turn on, but for some reason there's a bit of a bug on the Kindle. If you turn it back on again, it blocks you from entering your PIN number, so you have to reboot the tablet in order to get back into it. And if you've combined disabling the power button with start on boot, then rebooting the tablet won't actually let you get back into it. It will just sort of lock you out permanently and you have to factory reset the tablet. So you've got to play around with these things, be a bit careful, see what works best for you. I'm going to disable kiosk mode for me, but obviously I just need it nice and full screen like this when it loads. There we go. That's how I'm going to leave mine. For under a tenner, I think the Plus option is a pretty good deal if you want to lock your tablet down, and the fact that you can try it out to make sure it works properly before you pay shows the developers' confidence in their product. It's also refreshing to see a one-off charge instead of a subscription these days, although they do also offer a subscription option which might be good for businesses who want to lock down multiple tablets. Anyway, I hope that you found this useful. There are links in the description to Fully Kiosk, the Fire HD tablet that I've used in this demo, and all of the accessories that I purchased, so go and take a look at those if you are interested. A massive thank you to these guys here. They're my amazing channel members and patrons. If you'd like to support the channel by becoming a channel member or a patron, then check out the links in the description. In return, you'll get early access to my videos and some bonus content too. Don't forget to give the video a like if you found it useful, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for free to see more from me. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.